Chat Tales. Don't you wanna hear some Chat Tales? Doobie 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 Chat Tales. What's happening? Are you alright? Alright, peeps. Everybody good, I hope. Alright, so been digging again. Found another little story in the back of the head. Bit of a memory from back in the day, late 80s. Okay, so yeah, where on Ingester Road, the estate I grew up on, with all my pals, there's like we used to call it the big woods because it went from one end of the estate to the other, and it was just a stretch of our own little jungle. Used to play army there all the time, dressing up like soldiers. It's still there now, but they've put a big dirty green fence around it and they try to keep you out. The only thing is now it's like a fox sanctuary. Loads of foxes everywhere making loads of racket at night. Anyway, these woods were like massive part of our lives, you know what I mean? It was just like pretending we was Rambo, and it's just mental. It was just great. The kids around this estate and adjacent estates used to come around here. Just the woods were great. Unbelievable. Well, anyway, the woods run along all of the houses that are on Lady Somerset Road and on Burley Road, because that's how it works. Like that, all these gardens belong to the houses on those two roads. So what we used to do, little naughty boys and girls, we used to, because a lot of these houses had fruit growing in their gardens, loads of different apple, pears, blackberries, even strawberries occasionally. So we used to go fruit picking in people's gardens. Nice. On this particular day that I'm thinking of, we was in Sana Gardens of the houses on Lady Somerset Road, and we was just going through their fruit, picking it and gonna take it away, because actually there was a few of the houses that had like cooking apples growing, and what we used to do was we used to nick loads of these cooking apples, right? And then there was this lovely lady, Irish lady, lived on Ingester Road, called Terry, and basically we used to get these apples, these cooking apples, and then we'd go to Terry, and Terry would take all the apples off us, and then she would cook us all loads of different apple pies. I'm not even joking. And there'd be just Ingester kids just slurping our apple pies, which were great. They was unbelievable. She needs to ask, if she was still around, she could get down Greg's or Wenzel's or whatever and sell her apple pies, because they was great. Well, yeah, so on this particular day, everyone's picking these apples or whatever, and I'm just sort of looking round, and I've spotted that in the next garden, there's like this massive tree at the end of their garden that sort of looks over the wall that is where the big woods are. And this tree, I just spotted it, but the people must have done it for their kids or whatever, but they turned it into a treehouse, and I'm not even joking. It was a wicked treehouse up this tree, right? So obviously I've like just climbed over their wall, and then I've got on this tree, I've climbed to the top of this tree, and I'm just up in this treehouse, and then I'm calling the others like while they're all picking fruit, and, "Oi, you lot, look at me." And they're all looking up saying, "Oh, where did you find that?" or whatever. And I was like, "I don't know, I was just looking, I see it." So I climbed up it. And they came, a couple of them came, climbed over the wall, and then they was about to climb up the old tree to join me, if you like. But the people who own the house had realised that what was going on. There was kids in their garden or whatever, so they come out, And straight away, I can't remember who it was. Could have been a number of names. I won't start naming people, but it could have been any of the Ingester boys. And they sort of jumped over the wall back into the woods the minute these people came out. Like, came to the end of their garden, shouting. They could see the people picking fruit in the next garden as well. Get out, get out. So everybody's just jumped back into the woods, right? Which leaves me up their tree, like, and I just started to try and climb down, and do you know what? I just couldn't do it. It was so high, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't even get down. So I'm up this tree, and they're down in their garden or whatever, and I sort of shouted down to him. I was like, I'm stuck. And then their reply to me saying I'm stuck was, well, we've phoned the police and they're on their way, so you stay there and I'm sure they'll be able to get you down when they get here. Well, it's funny, right? When you hear something like that, your climbing skills go from zilch to, do you know what I mean? You're a cliffhanger. I'm not even joking. I heard them telling me that the old Bill were on their way, and I might as well wait till they get there and then they'll get me down or whatever. I thought, yeah, right, mate. I just become some amazing climber. All of a sudden, I shot down that tree and over their wall into the big woods quicker than you could say boo. I'm not even joking. So I'll get back into the woods, and then the people are shouting over the wall, we know who you are, we know who you are. It's like, yeah, right. Well, I'm not sticking around for no police, you know what I mean? So then the lot of us just done a run with what fruit we had. And yeah, so got out of the woods, ran back down to wherever our houses were or whatever, and we was just all sitting there like, and it was like, oh my God, it was like, that was nuts. We nearly got caught in their gardens or whatever. And I was like, okay, what's everyone got? So everyone's saying that what they've got and that, and he's like, right, get the apples down to Terry's house now. So we all went down to Terry's house with these apples, and yeah, as usual, she took them off us and said, yeah, come back in a couple of hours. He's like, thanks, Terry, see you later, yeah. And ran off. And a lot of the others used to love eating the old blackberries and that, and I weren't really a big fan of blackberries for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not really a big fan of raspberries either. I don't mind a strawberry, but blackberries, raspberries and that, they seem to have little bits in them, don't they? I was saying, it's just funny in your teeth. But yeah, but that was crazy nuts, I'll tell you. And I think in the future we did get back over that garden and climb up that tree, because it was a great tree house, like, so you had to get up there, you know what I mean? But I think there was a knack of getting down, you know what I mean? Once you had the knack under your belt, you could get up and down there pretty quick. But yeah, okay, so another little story of Ingesta. Yeah, sweet. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, smash bells and all that. Shout from the rooftops. Shoutcast. Okay, thank you for listening, and I will speak to you soon. Lovely. Chat Tales. Don't you wanna hear some Chat Tales?